Welcome to another edition of the Social Proof Podcast. My name is David Shands.
And I am Donnie Wiggins. And we just so happen to be all of you guys' favorite business coaches.
For sure.
We've been putting y'all on for years.
Yes.
What?
Yeah, I wonder, you ever seen those things that people put together like, if you had to go into business with a couple people, we need to make one.
Let's make one.
Yeah, and let's put ourselves on there twice.
Let's put ourselves on there twice.
With different pictures.
Let's put ourselves on there twice individually, but then let's also make it a collective. Mm-hmm. Like, you know what I mean? And then we'll throw a couple of other people on there, but they can't be like super popping because we got to get all the votes for us.
For sure. Oh yeah, so we got to, okay, so on there, we'll put people that haven't really accomplished. We'll put the people from the hot seat on there.
We'll put hot seat people on there, and we'll for
sure to win.
For sure, we'll put some of our mentees on there. Not to say y'all aren't popping. It's just if the people had to choose. Let's just be real.
Or like fictional characters, like from TV shows.
For sure. Or what we'll do is put super popping celebrities that don't do anything with business at all. You know what I mean? So we'll make it fair.
Come on, man.
Choose us. Choose us.
Well, yeah, we are here in December, late December. We did an event called My First Million, which the reviews have been crazy, man.
Insane.
The reviews have been crazy. The takeaways, the things that people have done after the workshop, because it was straight information. It wasn't like a lot of lights and action and
no guest
smoke.
Speakers.
No guest speakers. We didn't have a host.
We didn't even have a host. Yeah, we winged the hosting. 100%. I'll introduce you. You introduce me.
Terica pulled up and we were just talking and she was like, so who's going to introduce? I was like, no. She's like, you want me to do it? I'm like, all right, go ahead.
Do it. For sure. Go ahead. Whatever you got.
You're here now.
Yeah. And then as the day went on, we just started walking out on stage.
100%.
There were no introductions. Y'all know who we are.
For sure. But the value, because Donnie and I were only focused on the information. Mm-hmm. What can we give that people will actually do the stuff after we, because you can give a bunch of information, high level information, but you're not going to do it.
Right.
But I think we're very intentional with the practicality of it.
For sure.
And then a few people joined our mastermind. Mm-hmm. And I think one of the major things that we focused on when we start talking about the mastermind is not only information, but exposure.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So that actually, I think that was your idea, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe. We want to get, maybe. I don't know. Maybe. We've been talking about a bunch of stuff.
We talk about so much. It was our idea.
Yeah, for sure. But giving the people in our community the exposure that they're looking for, and not only just coaching behind the scenes, but being able to see somebody grow in real time. So today...
Wait, because I think people are confused. They're like, Dave and Donnie have a mastermind. What is that about? Well, you would know if you were at the My First Million Live conference, right? But as we've been navigating this experience with the mastermind, we actually decided that we want to open this up to the public. And it's the My First Million Accelerator. It's for people who are established businesses. You are already making some money, right? Yeah. Because, let's just be real. You got to have at least a concept. Maybe you aren't making multiple six figures at this point, but you're already at that 6-figure mark. And you need the strategies to get your business across the hump to its next level. Mm-hmm. The intent of the program is to help you put together your 7-figure blueprint, your actual customized action plan, as you'll see, as we've put together for some people. But you get to work with David and I very closely and have conversations and run things by us about your business so we can help you skip some of the mistakes that we made or some of our previous clients have made. And we really have a great room of entrepreneurs, a great group of entrepreneurs on their way to their own 7-figure business.
For sure.
So we've got that. I do know if you're on my Instagram watching this right now, I'm not sure if yours has changed over. Just comment the word million on my Instagram and it'll take you to get some information about that.
Yeah. Mine's isn't. But we'll figure that out one time. But let's get to it, man. And just a side note, Donnie and I are really, really smart.
Yeah. We actually are. I mean, no. Listen, there are people who are talented. Mm-hmm. There are people who are knowledgeable. There are people who are smart. But then there are some people that are just really, really smart. And it doesn't mean that we're really smart, but that doesn't mean that we know everything. The thing is, we know how to find answers.
Yeah.
We are resourceful. We know how to do the research. I think it really made us something different when we started in a DIY space. And we're very, very, what makes us so smart is that we're interested.
Yeah.
We want to know the process.
100%.
Like, I see your business, I respect it. I probably don't ever want to do it, but I really need to know how it works.
Yeah, 100%. So we're about to show you how smart we are. So
For sure.
Let's get into it. We have Cheryl here. Go on and introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Dr. Cheryl. And
all right, come on now, Cheryl.
Cheryl.
Listen, come on now. Introduce yourself. These are people that are waiting to see you. So this is what's about to happen, okay?
Okay.
There is an audience of tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of people, and you're about to jump on stage. I need that energy. Everybody, we say, yo, what's your last name?
George.
Cheryl George. And you're going to come out and be like, yo, what's up, y'all? It's Cheryl. I need a little more energy, a little more excitement, okay? So we actually, Donnie, have Cheryl George here. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. I'm Dr. Cheryl D. George.
Yep.
I am, I'm sorry,
It's all good. Real doctor?
PhD.
But I'm saying, okay, are you like doctors like me and Donnie are doctors? Like we got an honorary. We got an honorary.
Honorary.
You got an honorary?
Honorary.
Okay. What's your honorary in?
Business administration.
How you do that?
How you mean, how'd I do that?
How'd you get honorary PhD in business administration?
From 20 years of working in business administration. Someone saw my, to tell you the story, I was submitting a package for someone else to get their PhD. And the board that was reviewing the package liked the way I put the package together. It's like, who's this? And what does she do? And it's like, we want to give her one in business administration. That's how it happened.
Gotcha. It's kind of like ours. Dang. Okay. All right. I'm just going to refer to you as Cheryl right now, okay? Because I don't want to be Dr. David right now in this particular instance. But so you are, first of all, where's your business at now, revenue-wise?
Mid six figures.
Mid six figures. Good. So you're doing your thing. Congratulations. What do you do? Just tell us what you do.
I work with solopreneurs and small business owners using insurance products and financial strategies to help them secure their bag.
Okay.
They already know how to make the money,
Yeah.
but I protect the money and then I secure the money. That's what I do.
Well, you've been doing this for 20 years, so you already have a book of business.
No. I've been in insurance for 15 years.
15 years.
I've been self-employed for 30 years.
But the insurance is going well. I mean, mid six figures is strong.
Yeah.
Which I'm super impressed too, Donnie. Like, you don't do social media stuff like that?
No, I don't.
Yeah. I like this type.
Cheryl, for sure. Cheryl is being incredibly modest, and I think it's more nerves than it is modesty. In 15 years, you've been operating this business, but most recently, we know her business, so I'll speak for her just a little bit. When she says that she has a six-figure business, that's at least times 3, right? A very solid business that you're building through your network of excellence, word of mouth, attending events and networking, not really doing any paid marketing. Like, these are relationships and how she's built this insurance agency. But we want to take it to the next level.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you feel better? You see how I told you what you do?
We're going to get her in this bag. But this says a lot, though, because there are people that are super dynamic. They can get on here and start talking that talk and make no money.
Make none.
At all. So you have the most important part is the foundation of something that you've built. There's a lot of articulate people. When the cameras come on, they come alive and they could just do their intros and all that kind of stuff, which it's actually harder to get someone to scale when they're like that and they already think they're this deal when they haven't built anything. It's a lot easier. Once you already built it, we just got to teach you how to be cool.
Turn it up.
And market it if you want to go personal brand.
And I think you do. So I know what we discussed. So to bring you guys into the conversation, we've had a private one-on-one with Cheryl. And what we did was a business audit. And basically in that business audit, we gathered some information about where you are in your business right now. And if we're at like that $300,000 threshold, how do we get across that hump? And it reminds me, Dave, of us in 2020, 2021, where we're like, man, we're at this certain income level and we keep showing up here or around there every single year. How do we get over that hump? And we had to become really cool.
Yeah.
We were quite cool, but we had to become really cool. And you remind me, Cheryl, we know what it takes. You're a business person. You probably do a lot of writing you take your notes, you're writing stuff down. You've probably got a lot of old school strategies of how you build your business. It's very belly to belly. It's very relationship driven. And we want to bring you into this digital side so that you can multiply what you've already done an amazing job at. Fair?
Fair.
Absolutely.
All right. So if you tell us about your current audience right now or your current customer, tell us about who that person is. Think about the most common type of customer you get, and then who is your insurance for. So for clarity first, you said, I work with entrepreneurs and I help them get the bag or keep the bag, protect the bag, protect the bag. Tell me what that means in layman's terms. Somebody's like, insurance, protect the bag. What does that even mean?
Your first question was who do I service? So that is probably a solopreneur, a mompreneur, a small business owner with less than 5 employees. And that is someone who's about 40 to 55 years old. And they are making $200,000, $300,000, $400,000, $500,000, $600,000, $700,000 a year. And they're the first in their families to be doing that, right? And so they don't know all the various things on how to avoid the tax strategies, pay less in taxes. They don't know about cash flow. They don't know how to protect the money. There's various things out there that protect you from lawsuits that will grow your money for this generation, next generation, things like that. So I sit down with them and introduce them to those kinds of products and tell them, hey, I know the traditional way of doing things, traditional banks, going to the regular banks and stuff like that. So, but insurance is more than what we've been taught. There's a lot of things great about insurance that we have no idea about.
But how do you even get me interested in having this conversation? So am I coming to you, or is it like my girlfriend told me, hey, I just got some insurance. You really need to protect your money. And that's how people are entering the conversation?
There's a lot of things you can do with $500. I mean, you can have a night out with your significant other. You could buy some really expensive shoes. Well, really nice shoes are about double $500. You could buy a course where you can learn something for $500. But I have something better for you to do with the $500. I want to meet with you every single morning for the rest of your life. Well, maybe not the rest of your life, but every morning, Monday through Friday, for the rest of the year. I have information and game that have allowed me to build a successful business, a successful community, and a successful life all the way around. But I want to share that with you. But the only way we can accomplish this is not me selling you a course, not me giving you a one-on-one consultation, because even with that, you'll get the information, but you'll need more. I want to meet with you every single morning. Now, would I meet with someone every morning for $500 for a year? And the answer is yes. Actually, we've been doing this thing since 2017. We have what's called the morning meetup. Every single month, we have a theme, whether it's social media, whether it's motivation, whether it's strategy, whatever it is, we have a theme for the month. And every morning in that month, we have a conversation around that topic. And I am giving a wealth of knowledge, not only myself, but a lot of friends, a lot of people that you see on this podcast, they join every single week. So you need a community of people that you can grow with, and you need a coach. I'm your coach. The Morning Meetup is your community. Go to themorningmeetup.com. It's $499, and I will meet you every single morning for an entire year. Give it a shot.
Well, things turned for me during COVID, okay? Because during COVID, everything shut down. And when everything shut down, people were home and couldn't go to work. And they had these 401ks and they were going to their jobs and couldn't get access to it. They were going to the banks and couldn't get access to it. And when they couldn't get access to their money, they started searching on the internet and said, there's another way. There must be another way. How do I stay liquid, and how do I stay in control of my finance? And that's how people started finding me.
So it's the frustration of you feeling like you've done the right thing. I've contributed to a retirement account. I've contributed to a 401k. We're in the middle of a national pandemic, and I can't even access my own money.
I have a couple $100,000 sitting there, and I can't get $25,000.
I just have money, and I can't get $25 out. Meanwhile, I'm struggling in real life when I have the money. It's sitting right there. So that's where you enter the chat. Okay, and then what would you tell me?
Okay, I will let you know that there's another way. I would let you know that there's other products out there that you can put your money in that's safer than the bank. Because with the bank, we've been taught to go to the bank. That's what we've been taught. And with the bank, they're not our best business partner. They don't protect us. If someone is coming after your money to give you a garnish, the bank doesn't notify you. When you deposit your money into the bank can legally use your money to loan out money to other people. So the bank can take your money and make credit card loans, car loans, mortgages, and then they pay you less than 1%. So they're a terrible business partner, right? And then when you go to a bank, nowadays when you go to a bank, you have to, if you want to take out a substantial amount of your money, you have to wait a couple of days. They don't have the money on hand to do that, right? And so with infinite banking, which is a whole life insurance product, you do what we call overfunding the policy. You put the money in, you have immediate access to your money. You have complete control of your money. You don't have to qualify for your money like you do with like you have to do with your home equity. There's no credit check. You don't have to have a job. You don't even have to have a reason. When you call to get your money, you just say, I need X amount of dollars. They check your bank balance and they send you the money. They say, do you want the money into the same account? And that's it.
So I have, through my 401k or whatever, I have $100,000 sitting there. We take the $100,000, we put the $100,000 into an infinite banking product, correct?
Well, there's laws. So in theory, we could put it into an infinite banking product.
What are the laws?
Well, you can't just go from a 401k into a life insurance product.
Why not?
Because there are laws.
Yeah.
So a 401k is what we call a qualified funds. It's funds that you have not paid taxes on. So you can't go from a fund that you pay taxes on to one where you don't pay taxes. Insurance products, you don't pay taxes.
Oh, that's dope.
So what you have to do is either stop funding your 401k or liquefy your 401k and take the tax penalty.
So you have to assess everybody's situation to find out what their strategy is going to be.
It's not
okay, I like that. So it's not like everybody should just do this strategy.
Oh no, it's not for everyone.
I like that.
It's not for everyone.
Okay. All right. I think you are a wealth of knowledge. Of knowledge. And you created a book, super coachable, Flowing Financially. It's a 15-month planner. What's the planner about?
I created that because, like I said, I work with a lot of solopreneurs and myself. Oftentimes when you need something financial, when you need information, it's scattered in different books. It's scattered on your different forms on your computer. It's not ready accessible. So if you have to sit down with to do a plan or something like that, you don't have all your information. So I said, let me put something together where you can have it all in one place.
Yep.
So now you can track your debt, you can track your income, you can track your expenses. There's fun things in there to motivate you and stuff like that. So
got it. Okay. All right, cool. So the biggest issue is we think you know what you're talking about, and you've helped a lot of people. You make good money by doing it. It's your personal brand that needs some assistance, correct? And what do you see for your personal brand? Like, who do you want to become in this world?
Who do I want to become? I want to become the trusted voice in this space.
Okay.
What does that mean?
It means in insurance, it's kind of seemed like I don't want to say a dirty word, but it's not something that people run to. It's not welcoming. It's not sexy at all.
Yeah.
It's not sexy. And when I talk to people, I get them to understand. I don't get to understand, but by talking to them, they say, "Oh, wow, I never knew this. I didn't know that. Somebody should have told me. Why didn't I know?" You know. And so I want to be out there educating people on things that they don't know about insurance, so they can know, so that the next generation that's coming up won't have the same responses. They'll be informed, and they'll be making informed decisions, and they'll move a lot sooner.
Yeah.
You know, I'm excited. I got a call last week from a client that just he has an 18-year-old and he has a newborn, and he's already putting the proper things in place for that newborn. So by that time that newborn is 25 years old, he's a millionaire. You know, but he didn't know that with his other son because he didn't know.
Got it.
But now he knows. So I love when I see transformation like that.
So I love that you've been in this industry so long. And for the people who are watching, I'm looking along at the live comments, and they're like, what is this, an interview? Is this hot seat? What's going on? This is one of our clients from David and I's Mastermind. We've already done a coaching session, but that was 2 weeks ago. And now we're on the other side of that. So these are entrepreneurs that you'll be hearing from in our next couple of episodes that we believe in, we're working with, and we want to offer you this exposure, but also in real time saying this is how the brand could be better and could reach more people. And to David's point, you're a wealth of information. I can tell by how casually you're telling us about these products and how we can access money that you know your stuff. I think, though, we need to make it sexy. We need to bring you into the digital space and get you out of this bubble while you know your stuff. And you're probably, when I'm thinking about all these insurance agents and things, I see a lot of trendy stuff. I see people who show their wealth and their cars and their this, that, and the other. When I see you, it's someone who actually cares about my particular case, right? But we got to figure out a way to let that translate with the same confidence that you have about the products that you sell.
Okay.
Yeah, 100%.
100%.
Yeah. So so you want to be like the most trusted person in this space, right?
Yes.
Have you any ideas how to do that?
No.
Have you thought about it?
That's why I'm here.
Okay. I think people need value, right? But we have to have a way that we can give people value in an entertaining way. And I'm not saying you got to do TikTok dances, but there needs to be some way where people can sit there and gather information, but say, I'm having a good time doing this. I'm enjoying it. So, you know, a bunch of stories on how not having this product has hurt people, right? Or, you know, a whole bunch of stories on how you've gotten this product. Somebody was just telling me the other day where he got them some insurance and maybe a week later they were diagnosed with something dire.
I've had that happen.
Which is crazy, right?
Yeah.
While he's on the phone telling me the story, I am locked into every word. I'm thinking, whoa, what would have happened if they pushed it back a week? Or what would have happened if they just weren't thinking about it, right? So
I've had that happen also.
I'm so right, for sure. So in your case, if I were you, I'm creating a podcast or a weekly show where I'm simply just telling stories.
I think the word entertaining scared Cheryl.
Yeah.
And I think let's swap that word for interesting.
Interesting.
You want people to be really interested in the content or the information that you put out there. I totally agree with creating some type of a podcast or a show or a regular series, just something that gets people really, really interested. So a couple of ideas that we put together, having conversations like around insurance myths versus insurance facts, right? Like what's true about insurance, what's fake about insurance. We know that a lot of people think that you can go and get a policy today and you can leverage against that policy today for $1 million home.
No.
And that's just not the truth.
No.
But that's the narrative that's out there. And that's the way a lot of people are positioning that messaging. What about if you also created like case studies, how insurance protected this family? So in your industry right now, it would have been great to look at like, you know, something that happened that's terrible, like the California wildfires, and digging in for people who are raising money through GoFundMe's, and then other people who are experiencing the same trauma, the same tragic losses, but they have a whole lot more confidence because they were insured. Like getting the stories of people who are saying this stuff is insured. We're back in the trenches now, helping other people who lost in a big way. Like that would have been a hot topic for you to address because it's real life. Right. We're all interested in what's happening. We're all looking at these fires and we're all like in disbelief, and we all know somebody who's in LA. And so that would have been, you know, a great position for you to take advantage of. And many stories like that, you can literally just Google stories about things that have happened, and it doesn't all have to be like life and death or major loss. It can be business owners who maybe were sued for something, right? But they didn't have the proper insurances to protect their assets. So now they've lost their business behind a single lawsuit. Content like that, I think, David, is something that you're talking about. Short form videos always work. Yeah. My favorite tips are, 3 of my favorite tips are: when looking for an insurance agent, consider this; when going to get your first policy, do these 3 things; when deciding if you need to upgrade your policy or update your policy, these are the 3 things. Here are the 3 things that you should know about. Any of those type of conversations are what people are interested in.
Yeah, absolutely. I was watching a video one time. It was this guy, super boring voice, by the way. He was reading about how, I think it was like about how Atlanta used to be divided. And it was like this line, right? Blacks, whites, and you know, they ran 75-85 through Atlanta to divide it. So on one side was like Buckhead and where the whites were, and the other side was like the West End, and you put all the blacks over there. But they literally split the city and ran a highway down. But he wasn't an entertaining person. He's just like, he was literally reading the story, and you could tell that he was reading. So in 1915, the content itself had me like, whoa, this is good. So I think even like giving the information, we got to sauce it like these are 3 things you should do. Her personality is gonna attract a certain group of people. But if you think of, even if you read a book, you ever read a book that was just, you just glued to the book?
Glued to it.
Because the information is great. Right. The reader or they're not writing in a special font that gets me excited. It's just, whoa, this is really, really good. So you got to try to put yourself in the seat of someone that's going to be listening to you and say, this is the most interesting person I've ever met.
Yeah. Okay.
But it can't just be the stuff that's on the internet the same way.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
So you got to find these, like tell me a story. Tell me the most engaging story that you've ever like witnessed, or one that's like, yo, one that gets the sale done. Tell me a story.
Tell your story. Okay. Here's one.
Talk to me.
There was a pastor that in their church, it was several different funerals going on, people passing, and they had to do all these GoFundMe. So she took it upon herself that she was going to insure the members of her family. And so she decided to do all the children, the grandchildren, nieces, nephews, and stuff like that. And for her siblings, she wanted them to get their own policy. So she came in and arranged for everyone. She took out 17 policies herself.
Right.
And because she said it's cheaper to pay a policy, to pay a premium than it is to pay for a funeral. So she wanted to position herself as the senior pastor who's absorbing all of these funerals that's coming. So she wanted to protect her family. And so she got all the children. There's 17 of them. Her plus the children was 17. Her brother got one, and then her sister was supposed to get one. And we went to the house, about 10 years ago. We went to the house to do the sister's policy, and filling out all the information for her to get a life insurance policy, traditional standard life insurance policy. No bells and whistles, just standard. And then she did everything. She didn't sign the policy. She said, you know what? I'm going to wait until I pay my cable bill. So if you guys come back a week from today, I would have paid my cable bill. I would have gotten my paycheck. I paid my cable bill, and then I'll take out the policy. Okay?
No, Cheryl.
She didn't sign it. Because if you sign an application and give a deposit, when they walk out the door, you are covered. We left. That night, she got into an altercation with her boyfriend, and he killed her.
Oh my gosh, bro.
So I often tell people the cable bill was more important than her life. So when people tell me I can't afford it, but they have cable, or they have insurance on their cell phone, or they have these, whatever they have, and they can't afford their own life, especially when they're a single parent, I don't give single mothers excuses. Because if you can do, if you go to McDonald's 3 times a week, if you go to Chick-fil-A 3 times a week, you can make sure your babies, who you're the only caretaker for, has provision and coverage if something happens to you.
Yo, go write down 30 of them stories.
Just like that. You just turn the camera, you just hold the phone, put it on a tripod, and just talk just like that. Hey, I just wanted to share a quick story with you guys. There was a pastor who wanted to make sure X, Y, and Z and blah, 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 blah. And the way that you just rounded that story and put it all together, like circled it back to, and this is why I don't let up. This is why I need you insured. This is why I don't buy into your excuses, because in that case, that cable bill cost this woman's family tens of thousands of dollars in probably legal fees, burial fees, medical expenses, final expenses, all the things. Tell stories like that.
Yep. That's your strategy. Okay. Obviously, you want to continue to show the stories to your clients, and you still do the work, and we can kind of talk about that. But I think we got to find out who we are and what's most comfortable for us. You know what I mean? I feel like if we were telling her to do all kind of like marketing strategies, and it would be so uncomfortable that you can't move. But
how'd you feel telling that story?
I was comfortable.
Yeah.
And then you also said, this is why I don't give single moms excuses. How comfortable are you speaking that way to a potential client?
I'm very comfortable because I know what I've seen what I've seen, and I know what I know.
And you know what you know. So when I believe we look at this phone, this device, this $1,000 device, and we get so intimidated by who's on the other side of it, right? They're not interested in hearing this stuff. Nobody's engaging with this. I don't want to bother people. I'm nervous. Every single person, when I go live, what we're doing right now, I don't care about the people who aren't interested in this story. David and I are treating this as if every single person here is our potential client or customer. Okay. Every single time you hit record, every single time you hit go live, you have to treat this as though you are only speaking to people who volunteered themselves to say, I want more information. That's how you look at it. And now that you're looking at it that way, what do these leads, everybody here is a lead. What do these leads need to hear from me to convert them into buyers? What do these leads need to hear from me to start changing the conversation that they're having in their head about insurance and wealth protection and wealth preservation? Approach it from that angle. This is going to be a piece of cake for you.
Okay.
My heart is still like kind of beating fast in that situation. I'm like, my gosh. So yeah, congratulations. How can everybody get in touch with you? Actually, in the chat, we saw some questions. What about, single mothers? What about someone that has health conditions? They were asking all these questions. So how can they get in touch with you, and how can they do business with you?
My social media handle on Instagram and Facebook is Insure with Cheryl.
Insure with Cheryl, straight through.
Straight through.
Okay. Insure with Cheryl. You guys go over to Insure with Cheryl. I will tell you, she's an outstanding businesswoman. She knows her stuff. I think we've got like 4 cameras in her face right now, so she's a little camera shy, right? But go over, check out Cheryl. You give free phone consultations or some type of consultation to let people. She gives free consultations. Like, I'm thinking about it. I remember being a single mom. My daughter is grown now, right? But I remember being the single mom of a young girl, and I had nothing. But I managed to continue to pay for a cell phone, right? And I had insurance on that cell phone. And if I figured that out, I probably could have figured out a $25 a month premium on a life insurance policy that in the event anything had happened to me, my daughter would have been covered. But even more than that, I probably could have figured out how to use that policy to provide me some relief and resources in my lifetime, like not having to wait until I died to have access to some money to help. We could have avoided. I didn't know anything about insurance at that time. I didn't really know. Outside of medical insurance, I didn't know anything about insurance until I had money. I just didn't know. I didn't know about protecting your will. I didn't know you could put insurance on your money. I didn't know that you could pay into a policy that you could borrow against while you were still alive. If I had known those things when I was hopping around from house to house with my 6-year-old daughter, we could have had a different life much sooner.
Yes.
Right? People need to know. And so as I'm listening to you tell a story like that, I'm immediately thinking you should be in churches telling that story. You should be signing up for women's events everywhere saying, hey, I'll come and speak for free. There's single moms in this room. There are moms in this room. There are families in this room that don't know this information. I didn't have this information about insurance until I was 39 years old. People need to hear this from you.
Absolutely. Do you have a number that they can contact? Do you have like a work number or something?
404 800 5344. That's my office number.
One more time.
404 800 5344.
You gonna be all right. And I actually trust her more than the person selling insurance that wears Balenciaga.
For sure. For sure.
With the chains and all that, like
hopping out your Lambo.
I trust me some shit.
Like you're a person who's living a real life, and you just understand protection. You understand these policies.
Because I know what it's like to be unprotected. So now that I've learned and I've gone to school, I've gotten the degrees and I've gotten the certificates, and I'm a constant student of the industry, and I'm learning. I'm like, let me go back and tell my people.
Yeah. I see you starting off telling that story, Dave, and then I see it growing where we're adding some featured, like we're doing an edited video of you telling that story with some animation behind it and using some paid actors or some volunteers, using some actors in there, and we're actually narrating this entire experience where people can see it visually at the same time.
Eric Thomas did a speech one time in a classroom and told this story about this guy that's going down to the water, and the guru puts the guy's head in the water and comes out and says, when you want to succeed as bad as you want to breathe, you'll be successful. He told that one story, and he was speaking for years before that, but that one story has taken him across the world. The power of a really good story has taken him around the world. And I've seen him like go on stage and remix the story, and it was just, that story has made him millions.
Yeah.
Must be able to resonate with stories.
Yeah.
So, congratulations. We can't wait to see your growth over the next few weeks in our mastermind, and we're gonna take care. You're gonna be all right. You're
gonna be all right.
Look, y'all.
All right, don't forget, you guys, to connect with Cheryl and just ask some questions. See how she can get you started on your journey to life insurance. It does not cost as much as you think. When I said like $25 a month, I meant that, right? And there's probably policies that could be even less expensive, right around that number. Whatever you need. You don't have to have everything right now. You just need something to protect yourself. If you're interested in being a part of David and I's mastermind, by the time this episode drops, comment million on my page or David's page, and we'll send you some information.
Instagram page.
Instagram page. We'll send you some information about the mastermind. You should be there. You should be there. We should be having these mastermind conversations to really help you think about how to navigate your business and make the best decision, the next decision, so that you can be on your path to your first 7 figures as well.
Yeah, look, we got our first in-person coming up, so that's going to be exciting.
Yeah, later this month, we got an in-person coming up. I can't wait for that.
All right, so we'll get to it. Cheryl, best of luck to you. Just keep on growing, sister. All right? All right, cool. First off, congratulations on watching this whole episode. If you like this episode you just watched, check out this one right here. I handcrafted this one for you because you like the one you just watched. Check it out.